weary travelers, to Recorder on the Wall. We're looking at Episode 6, Book 3 of the book Mattimeo. Someone else say it, because I'm going to slaughter it.
Malkariss.
Thank you! As a kid, I had this Marquislis idea in my head that never left. So, even today, I'm reading it, or I'm going over my notes, and I have to keep reminding myself, that's not how you say it. Now for something completely back on topic. Yeah, we read the final portion of the book, of the third portion of Mattimeo. Yay! It doesn't have a happy ending. Has anyone not read this series before? Well,
Right.
There are some ups, there are some downs, to be certain. But before we get into that, we should probably introduce ourselves. Of course, you all, I'm Pete.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Katie.
What's poppin'?
That's a funny
And that's
name.
Drew.
Hello, Poppin. Is your first name What's?
Yes.
Oh, we getting our dad jokes out of the way?
I'm done. I'm sorry, Dad.
So, continuing on, and if you're listening to this and you haven't read this book, yes, spoilers, folks. So, where did we leave off at the end of Book 2?
They found the gorge.
They found the gorge, and Mengus had the devious plan to steal the tapestry of Martin.
Original.
Yeah, very original.
No one has ever done that before, and no one will ever do it again.
In the history of Redwall.
I mean, as far as I know, it only happens one more time after this, so, you know.
Yeah.
Unless I'm missing something, which always could be.
I haven't read 3 of the books, so...
Well, it's been a long time
Shun the
since I've read...
heathen.
It's been a long time since I've read this series outside the podcast, so yeah, and I stopped around, what, was it Tagarung, I think was my last book. So...
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. But it's not the one we read today. So yes, our heroes have found the gorge, which they don't have a bridge to cross. Well, that was the end of that.
Well, we tried our best. Time to go home.
Yeah.
Yes,
But before
that
we
would
get
be a
into the
lovely
plot,
story.
yes, before we get into the details of the plot, we have new character introductions. Yay! Very late in the game. So, first, on the hero side, we have the Malkariss slaves, and only one gets a name. Sorry, guys. The rest of you just kind of are just there.
The rest of you weren't important enough.
Poor guys.
No.
Yeah.
Their lives
Elmtail,
weren't bad enough.
He's Elmtail, he's a squirrel, and okay. Hi, Elmtail. So, we have...
Welcome.
Someone pronounce this for me.
Strike Red Kite.
That's what I figured, but yeah. And that's the two main heroes in the entries. We have a last-minute villain entrance, and we're going to meet them in just a moment. But, on the villain side, while the heroes are trying to cross the gorge, suddenly, Slagar, basically he convinces most of his major underlings that they're going to they're now the new second in command, and the others are going to betray them, so they need to keep an eye out.
Yeah, it's very sneaky.
Yep.
So, and then, that night, we have our first look at the rat cult. So, our rats of the host, whatever you want to call them. There's these rats who come out of nowhere, who are wearing black robes, except for one in fabulous purple. Somebody looks fabulous! So,
Very fashionable.
Mm-hmm.
They basically take the slaves from Slagar and lead him and Vitch away, leaving the rest of the vermin just to sleep it off. Except for one who gets stabbed.
Oh, yeah.
Alas
about
for whatever his name was.
Bye.
Damper.
Yeah. Damper.
Oh, yeah.
So, Suddenly we have our destination in mind. We have Slagar finally reached the people he's going to sell the slaves to for... We'll get to that, but we're not told.
Yeah, they don't exactly have money in this.
Power and prestige.
Yeah.
We'll get to that part, but yeah. So,
Acorns.
But before Slagar's people wake up, we do have the heroes crossing the bridge, and how do they do it?
With an axe
Yes, squirrel.
or rope?
Yes, Jess comes up with a zip line, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
How did
Yes,
they get
and
back
Jess
across?
rhymes.
Medieval slack rope. Slack line.
So the heroes are just happen to find Slagar's band, who have now all turned on each other and have started stabbing.
Yes.
When they're waking up, and I love Orlando's entrance here.
He just walks out. Hi.
Hello.
Yes. The man who plays him in the audiobook does a great job. Just like, you really should not be talking right now. You should just all cower because I'm very angry.
See, I definitely got a tranquil fury here. Because if it's Slagar, it would have been already lead to choppy, choppy, slicey, slicey.
Yes.
Smashy, smashy.
So, yeah,
And
he's just...
do we see... It's kind of interesting how the species seem to kind of go against each other. Because isn't it like stoats against weasels or something?
yeah.
Or no, maybe
Yeah, I
it's
think
all
it is.
weasels at this point.
Well, they kind of is. Like, I think the only ones that are left are the weasels at the end of it.
Right, but I think they were fighting, like they were uniting as a species, kind of.
That does kind of tend to happen in these. Like, in the first book, the rats are kind of all as one, and they're like, oh, no, only the rats can be the second in command, and
Right.
Tarkon is, well, what about the ferrets? You know, we're pretty good, and...
It seems to be a running theme here that whoever is the chief villain, they tend to favor, or I wouldn't say trust, but at least those of their own kind.
Mm-hmm.
Right, except for Slagar, because I don't think there's any foxes in this group.
No, there aren't.
Yeah. I think in some of them they don't, like in, I know, jumping ahead, but like Mossflower Tsarmina is the only wildcat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except
for her nice
brother.
Well, I meant like in her team.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Of the villains.
She actually a pretty diverse group there. But one of the things about the villain scene that I really liked is where they're accusing each other. One of them's just like, "Oh my God, Slagar stabbed my mate," and the other one's like, "Rubbish. Slagar wouldn't kill one of his own." Like a day ago, they watched him throw somebody off.
Yeah.
One of them even points it out too. He's like, well, "What about the guy he threw off the cliff?"
Did he? Where?
He had it coming.
Yep. He slipped. Slagar was trying to catch him and missed.
What a chummy guy.
Aww.
It's a very 1984 style, like, mind melt.
Yeah.
I was going to say another word, but then I realized I can't say those words on this podcast.
No, we're a PG podcast, and that is appreciated. So, so basically, who remains? I'm looking in the book right now, but remains of the core group here? Basically, they're now facing all of the angry Redwallers and the Shrews, and Harry the Muse, because why not?
And a badger with an axe.
A very, very big axe.
Yep. I could say a really bad pun right now, and I'm not going to.
Good.
Not again. Never again.
No. Puns are his native tongue. You haven't been podcasting with him as long as I have. So.
We have had many moments of just me saying a line and then Pete just groaning and threatening to hit me through the internet.
I feel my words are taken out of context there.
What context?
So, yeah, 5 weasels remaining. Sorry.
Oh, God, I got another pun. I'm not going to say it.
Do it.
All right.
Too bad I'm surprised they can't weasel their way out of it.
This is where we added in some air horns.
They even admit that they're like, what if Slagar comes back?
That one's a little... I don't know if that's optimism or what, but like he's not coming back, dude.
It's like you kind of feel sorry for them in a small way because they're so dumb that they kind of went along with it all, you know.
They're hungry.
And
I'm not...
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're slavers, and that's kind of bad, but when we're told early on in book 1 or 2 is when Slagar found most of them, they're starving to death, so they're happily joining up.
Yeah.
Their parents didn't teach them morals.
Yeah.
And we also get the ranks.
We also get the impression that this is not the first time he's done this.
Oh no! That leads to our other, one neutral character here, the Neldy-Eld Rabbit. Is he given a name?
I don't think so. No.
I gotta take better notes.
No, I don't believe he's given a name. I think he just like doom, death, and destruction.
Mr. Doom.
Yeah, Mr. Doom.
Mr. Doom.
Yeah, I like that better. So, but so they make the heroes basically take prisoner these 5 weasels, and then Basil probably a little bit of I'm not sure if this is psychological warfare or he's just that cruel. And I'm quoting here, Basil picks up a rope and made 5 loops of it. Right, come here, you weasel types. Put the nooses around your dirty necks. Stop blubbering. We're not going to string you up. We'll treat you just deserve.
Yeah,
We're going to let you march out front. That way you get the benefit of any traps that have been laid for us. Poison arrows, swamps of mad frogs, great eagles that'll rip your eyes out, and such likes. Cheer up. It'll be fun.
Yes.
Basil is... I keep forgetting that Basil's seen engagement before. Like, Basil is not a soft character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing with hares, because they have this kind of light, ridiculous way of talking, but they're kind of ruthless underneath it.
Oh, and we haven't even seen the Long Patrol yet.
Yeah.
I love
the rabbit, nope, is not named. He's just called the Old Rabbit. So.
Mr. Doom.
Mr. Doom.
Yeah, we'll go with Mr. Doom.
Doofus.
He's fun.
He's very cheerful.
Yes. So, meanwhile, back with the villains. Slagar and Vitch and the slaves arrive in the host, and slaves are put in jail because they just need something to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
For now. And Slagar we meet, like I said, the Mr. Fabulous Purple Robe, Nadaz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sure.
Okay, I got one right. He basically works, talks with Malkariss, and it's like, hey, Slagar's like, hey, you made me a promise here. I'm just gonna help you up north, and you're gonna help give me some slaves to build me a fort, right? And this is, I'm just now thinking of this, but this is literally out of The Wizard of Oz, like a villainous version. Right?
They're off to see Malkariss, the horrible Malkariss of the underground.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love the variety of reactions to that.
It took me a while to get it, because I'm like, wait, what? And then it clicked.
Yeah, because we're told Malkariss is this giant statue that he speaks out of. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Pay no attention to whatever the heck he actually is behind the rock.
We're going to get to him.
I mean, at least the wizard isn't some gross, deformed, scabrous character.
Okay. Yeah.
Now let's get this out of the way. Malkariss is the only named polecat in the entire franchise.
Is a polecat a different word for a ferret, though? That's what I thought, but maybe I could...
skunk growing up.
Looking it up.
I literally thought it was a skunk growing up.
Polecat.
I got out of the dictionary.
You did my mic before I slammed on the keyboard.
It adds ambiance.
Yeah.
It specifically says not to be confused with skunk.
Yeah. The name is applied to several species similar to European polecat. Commenting from men. It says, in the U.S., the term polecat is sometimes applied to the black-footed ferret.
Okay.
What a cute little creature.
I know in a
cute.
future book, there's a ferret villain. In Outcast of Redwall, there's a ferret villain, and another villain is talking to him and refers to him as polecat, but I never figured out if that was meant to be an insult or if he was just naming his species.
Honestly, it's probably meant to be an insult, based on what we've just said here. But yeah, so it's not a skunk. It's what I gathered of research online. This is like a genetic pre-ancestor to ferrets and stoats, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, in Canada, the term polecat is sometimes applied to electric utility linemen, so throw that into the mix.
Well then.
Oh, yeah.
So, eventually, King Polecat here, he basically says, okay, Slagar, you can have 80 rats to play with. You can get yourself up on the surface and start securing the local area. But I'm going to watch you from inside the statue.
Always watching. Always judging.
Big brother.
And we finally learned Slagar's endgame here. Now, if there was a genuine economy here and he was actually making money off this, I'd accept it as a villainous thing, because greed is greed. It's easy. And maybe with a little dash of revenge. But we're outright told, no, he's going the full-fledged Clooney route. He wants to rule. It's like, okay.
I do have to ask, what makes him think he'd be able to take command of a cult that, only follows this statue of a polecat and is only a bunch of rats? I mean, I know he's not a stranger to complete delusions of grandeur, and I wouldn't be surprised if he still wants to be the king of thieves again, but I don't know. I just don't see how he's going to do that. And they do say, like, he wants to build his own army, but, you had a slave group that you just kind of left behind. You could have built up a bigger army that way and then used that, or maybe worked with Stonefleck and his horde, who were kind of loosely connected to this.
But totally incompetent soldiers.
This is true. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Stonefleck, the worst leader of all time.
Yeah, money is kind of a weird thing in these books because it's sort of maligned to want treasures. Like in Pearls of Lutra, like the pearls were seen as things that only brought sadness and misery and, trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Or Salamandastron, where Farrago is trying to raid the alleged treasure of the Badgers, which
may
or may not exist, but we'll get to that book when we turn. But, yeah.
They tried to address it. Oh, go on.
Oh, I was going to say, at least with Redwall itself, when creatures are trying to conquer it, it's because, it's this big, secure building in the middle of the forest, and we can defend it. There's food. There's all this other stuff in there. Like, there's a tangent that we know exactly why they want it.
Yep. I hate to say it, but Clooney is probably the most straightforward villain we've ever going to get.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he's just power hungry, and apparently so is Slagar. But I'm still thinking of the snake venoms at work here. So
probably.
Yeah. They tried to address money in the TV show. The abbot runs out of nutmeg? I don't know. They tried to shoehorn this in here. They're like, the abbot doesn't have enough nutmeg, so they bring in a dormouse with a... I think it was a Spanish accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, spice. He was a spice merchant.
Oh, the spice must flow.
They were given... They're like, here's some coins. I was like, where do you get those?
Yeah,
I don't,
and that kind of annoyed me because we're always made to feel or to words escaping my brain. We're always made to assume or know that the Abbey is self-supporting. So, it's really hard to hold them under siege because they have all this food supply and it's stored away. And so the TV show is like, no, that's probably not. I mean, the abbot probably has a whole hoard of nutmeg buried somewhere.
Yeah.
He doesn't have enough candy chestnuts. Not make for his oatmeal. The dude's name is Farlow.
I forgot, yeah.
Farlow.
So yeah, in the end game here, though, we're going to get to the animated series in time, but Slagar, he's just...
Sorry.
It's okay. Slagar he's just out he's out to power, because he figures once he gets his army, he's just going to close up the seal to this underground kingdom, and then they'll starve him out, and he'll rule the world. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe not the world, but...
At least portions of it.
Certainly the southern lands that are here, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, but, there's a slight problem. Matthias and his friends are right outside.
Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real.
That could complicate matters a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly.
The long story, but before they get there, we find where I almost said it. Malkariss made his kingdom. Is that we're told, and this is a reference to Mossfire, which we haven't read. But the abbey to precede Redwall, Loamhedge. Yeah, this is the ruins of Loamhedge.
Yeah.
So, and surrounding country, because they find what is effectively the roof of the former building.
Yeah. I'd like to. Am I the only one who wishes there would have been a prequel book featuring Loamhedge?
I wish that as well. Yeah.
And
I
don't know
the
if
book Loamhedge didn't get into that.
No, I actually. So before it came out, that's what I was hoping it was going to be, was an actual prequel to, direct prequel to Mossflower. It actually takes place after this and is almost a partial retread of some of the stuff that happens in this book.
Huh.
We'll get to it when we get there, but I think that was the first book I read in the series where I was just completely disappointed with what happened.
Yeah, I was too. The whole story revolving around Martha, I thought had a very disappointing ending for me. But, I mean, as a person with a disability, I'm kind of sensitive to those, it's magically better in the end kind of situations, because, I mean, that's not real life.
Yeah.
It was in your head the entire time.
Yeah, and you can live a perfectly, perfectly happy and fulfilled life with a disability. So that was just the kind of thing I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I was hoping that book was going to be, the full prequel. It was even going to end, maybe right when, them leaving Loamhedge, due to the sickness, or even
that would be depressing, though.
Or their journey, and then it ends, as they're about to reach Mossflower or something, kind of connect into that book.
With, a more hopeful, we're going to see our friend Bella the Badger, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Sorry, tangent again.
It's okay. Matthias and the others, they find the entrance, and it's let's try this dark, dank cave. But they dismiss Harry the Muse and the other weasels because Harry's no good underground. Which, okay, I get it, I understand. And someone's got to watch their captives who have lost all. Yeah, they're not going to fight back. But they don't.
I'm glad they didn't kill them, though, because that would have been. I mean, yes, they're not decent human beings or creatures, but they probably don't deserve to be killed.
Yeah, I do like how. Yeah, I was about to say Orlando threatening to do it, and then Matthias is like, "No, that's not our way." And I do see that in some of it. We actually see that. This is the second time we see something like this, where earlier on, where Constance threatens to drown the magpies, and it was like, "No, I was totally going to drown them. I don't care."
Yeah.
Badgers.
Yep.
Silly badgers.
So that they find the entrance and they decide, hey, let's go on in. And at the entrance, basically the parents of the group, they're like, yeah, we have a reason to go in. If anyone wants out now, you're good. Especially you shrew red shirts in the back.
Except for that one wearing the gold shirt. I don't know why you are wearing that, but I bet we'll find out soon. What's your name again? Flug? Okay, I'm sure you won't be important, but don't worry about it.
Nope.
Yeah. But everyone agrees to go down, including the shrews. So, although I don't think, do we even get a mention of the rebel shrews ever again at this point? Or they just kind of assume they're still there?
I think they're part of the slaves now.
Yeah, but I don't remember them being outright mentioned, because they're adults, and these are kids.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just saw the error of their ways and were going to quietly slink off into the background.
So, Matthias, and here's the thing, because the kids were drugged when they got here. Matthias and the parents walk right by them.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
They walk right by their cell, not bothering to, check it. And
So,
they admit that they can't do every door because they need element of surprise. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do you guys think that if they discovered that it was their kids behind that door and they were able to get their kids, do you think that they would leave at that point, or do you think they would feel obligated to go free the slaves? Of course, and also they have to kill Slagar, but...
They don't know the other slaves are there yet.
Yeah,
but,
I was actually going to say, or I'll say, there is a moment when they're fighting the rats, and there's that big lull. I don't remember which character says it, but they actually said, if we had the kids now, we could just leave.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I forgot that.
Yep. So I think, they definitely would have. I mean, they would have been more. They probably would have taken, or they probably would have been more important. Let's get the kids out of here. Maybe take a look around for Slagar. But they also know that there's an army around, and so I think they would just leave.
At the same time, the parents here swore an oath they're going to kill Slagar. There's no mercy coming. They will find him. They will kill him.
Well, they could just hang out outside, wait for him to walk out, and be like, "Get him!"
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think at this point that they located Slagar, they didn't know where he had ended up.
No, they don't. So, and if Slagar had any sense, he would have gotten the heck out of Dodge once he went to realize the Red Wallers are here, but that's another story.
Absolutely.
We'll get to that.
I'm not sure in Redwall there's ever, the entire series, if there's ever a real, large-scale moral question asked. Because usually it's pretty clear who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, and only really in Outcast of Redwall did I ever see, what's going on here. But usually the good characters aren't asked to do bad things for the sake of, the people. I don't know. It just seems like a really common fantasy trope that Jake's never used, to have, them sacrifice a few for a lot, or to, have to make that decision between getting their kids out there or, deposing a slaver.
No, it does. I mean, you could make some argument in the very few books where someone changes species alignment. Tagarong, or is it Bellmaker with the guy?
With the sea rat?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's Bellmaker.
Oh, I liked him.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get to him
when
we cover that. But, well, before we get to the giant battle we all know is coming, let's check on the B-plot.
B-plot.
Yeah.
We need a sound for
arguably more
B-plot,
interesting
too.
one.
Yep. So they try to steal the tapestry, and that does not go well.
You almost have to wonder if the Red Wallers are really? We haven't planned for this, our contingency from last time?
And if they had modern technology, I bet they'd electrify the thing.
Yeah. Well, they utilized those mole tunnels to good effect, though, because they appeared where the birds weren't expecting them to appear.
Yep. And then we get the great moment of Constance with a frying pan. Quick, get the tapestry! Clang! Everyone move! Clang!
Constance!
And there's a great moment in the audiobook where Jakes is doing the onomatopoeias, and the woman who plays Constance is like, "Get out of our abbey," and then Jakes is like, "Bong." It's really fun.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, they get the tapestry back, and Ironbeak's like, well, that didn't work.
Yes, exactly, in that calm, pensive manner.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't punish his underlings for failures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what villain do we get is ever that's calm and collected in this series?
There's been a couple that are calm and collected, and then, like, the villain in... I can't remember his name, but the villain in Brocktree was pretty collected.
Yes, the wild cat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. However, Cornflower gets the great idea since, they know of Martin the Warrior, and since allegedly he protects the Abbey, let's use that to our advantage.
Well, it's actually... So this is the thing that I had a question on. So they hear about Manga's visions being clouded up by Martin the Warrior from the sparrows that arrive, and then Cornflower says, "Oh, this actually makes my plan better." So why did she? I would like to know, before they knew about the superstition part, why did she think dressing up as Martin would actually be effective on the birds?
He's a scary dude.
I think there was something that I'm, of course, forgetting right now, but there was something that made her. Maybe it was just the tapestry, like the stealing of the tapestry, that she figured, they know it's important somehow.
Okay.
I don't know though.
It's hard.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
I mean, there's psychological warfare is an element in real war, to be certain. I mean, the whole idea of battle cries, why that's a thing throughout the entire series, is that you're trying to freak the other guys out. Make
right.
a break. I get that. And making a ghost, I mean, we're talking the medieval ages here. Superstition is a thing.
Yeah.
So, especially when there's a seers who can literally see the future. Or at least glimpses of it. So, I don't know what her original plan here is, but yeah, you have bring up a good point. What was she ultimately thinking of doing?
You know what I think would be a solution to every problem Redwall ever faced, ever?
Food?
Alright, I feel like plate armor, like full plate armor in these books are severely underplayed. There's, I think, only 2 characters are ever in full plate, and it's Martin the Warrior, and then it's the one Badger Lord in Mossflower.
Oh, Boar?
Airstripe and Salamandastron.
Oh, does he have full armor?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
At least in the art.
Sunflash or something. Or no,
you
he
can't
had mail.
touch these people. There is no way a bird is gonna fight its way through full plate armor. Maybe Cornflower was gonna bash some heads or something.
Well, even that. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Where did this armor come from? I don't remember this in Redwall.
Mississippi.
No, I think they found Martin's armor.
Yeah, it was given to Martin by his friend Timbalisto. How it got into present time, where it was all this time, I don't know.
Oh, it was in the
we're told
attic.
where the shield is.
I think it was in the tomb, right?
It might have been. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and I think
it was in the attic.
Well, the sword was in the attic. Well, so they find the scabbard in the attic. I remember, so they find Martin's tomb, and they find the shield on the door, and I'm pretty sure that's where they found the armor. Matthias just doesn't wear it at the end of Redwall because he's coming from the outside of the...
Well, I thought they were searching inside, and Silent Sam and Cornflower were, trying to look through, some old... kind of the attic spaces, not the Spara attic spaces. But they ended up pulling down a trapdoor, and they got up there, and there was the armor. That might have actually been in the animated series, and I might have just gotten that screwed up, but that's how I remember it.
It does show up in the animated series, including the finale, yes. But I honestly, maybe my memory's not as good, but I don't remember a full-fledged armor suit in the Redwall book, and suddenly... Now, you could argue Matthias paid to have a suit, or maybe they found a suit in the intervening 7 seasons. Sure, I'll buy that.
Yeah. Sorry for the animal interjection there.
Doggo.
No, it's no worries about it. So yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it being here. It's just, where did it come from? So,
yeah.
I was going to say, in regards to the effectiveness of it, I've noticed anytime one of the heroes does wear armor, it's usually damaged, torn off, or people find their way through it. In Mossflower, I know I'm jumping ahead, but like in Mossflower, Martin's wearing the full suit of armor, and Sarmina hits him through one of the slits with an arrow, and then when he actually fights her, she rips it off of him. In Salamandastron, Earthstripe gets it kind of torn through, and it just seems like each time they have the armor, it ends up getting relatively useless, with the exception maybe of For the Fighter, because I don't think it ever got like ripped off of him or cut.
Oh, no. Yeah. He took off like 300 people. What I'm saying is they should build a suit of armor for Constance. I think that they'd be fine. That would be the end of any engagement.
Constance doesn't need armor.
Well, I mean, it might have helped in Redwall when they were beating her. I mean, it might have helped to shield some of the blows.
Yeah, this is true.
I hope there's no brain damage.
Nah, she's hard-headed.
Yep.
Oh, okay, right. So, anyway, again, tangent. Cornflower basically gets her husband's armor out and the shield, because he's not using it. Mm-hmm. And they paint a wooden sword to look like the original Martin's sword, and they pretend to be the Martin's ghost to the birds, and it freaks them the heck out.
Yeah, I do like I do like the addition of putting like the cloudy thing over her face, so it looks like there is no head.
Yeah, that is cool.
And again, in the animated series, we don't see the face because there's a full-fledged visor, so go figure. But yeah, that version where there is no face is a lot creepier.
I have to say, when the after the ghost like scares the birds and they jump down, and Mangus is like, well, then who opened the big door? For some reason, I always crack up when Ironbeak is yelling at him, and he's like, I had them under control, and then you go, who opened the big door? Just always hear it in that voice.
And I'm sure Magnus only suffered a couple of demerits on this card, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting beat.
You got a slap on the wrist.
Or on the head.
Or
tap on the wing.
Several buffets to the brain.
And I would also like to point out, I'm not going to repeat the 8 million ghost puns that I had nothing to do with in this book.
No, you did not.
Yep.
They like their ghost puns here.
Oh yeah.
So, but in the daytime, we have another bird who arrives at the Abbey. Sir Greg.
Poor injured thing.
Mm-hmm.
Who is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I love his character. And not because she's an awesome force of nature with a nice accent. No. She's actually enjoyable.
Yes. Although I really don't like the way, and it might just be in the audiobook, I don't know if you guys have picked up on it from reading it, but the abbot is kind of condescending in his tone, like when she's, speaking, he's like, I am called Abbot. This is It's like, no, you don't need to talk like that.
Oh yeah. No, I don't
really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, just because she doesn't speak English very well does not mean that she, can't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, I always read it as him. I'm sorry. I always read it as him saying it like a calm, comforting voice, like, I am called Father Abbot, this is Cornflower, like in that sort of tone.
So it could be just the actor misinterpreting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never picked it up on a kind of a condescending thing. Yeah, it was more like, oh, okay, we're not going to kill you, so please don't eat us, kind of thing.
Yeah, like a we mean you no harm sort of thing.
Yeah, and the abbot even says, like, she can understand us. So, what's he doing here?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just odd.
But they rescue the bird from the crows and the ravens, and they basically fix her broken wing after they drug her, because Sister May has a problem.
Yeah, she's felt the power.
They should have just sent Sister May to go take care of rescuing the kids and taking out Slagar and everything else.
Yes.
She would have snuck across that river and drugged Stoneflex Horde.
Yeah, the
I
Dibbins
just
never
imagine
had
of that little mouse, this little mouse sister dragging Slagar by his ear. Like, okay, Matthias, you deal with him.
I found him. Come here, you.
A Dibbin comes, is having a sleeping issue. She's like, not anymore.
Oh my god.
Rest. Everybody's just like, don't let her touch your food.
Yeah. I will put you to sleep. Don't you mean put me to bed? I know what I said.
Oh, wow. But speaking of other people who have problems, can we have a sitcom of John Churchmouse and Ambrose?
Oh, yes.
Something like Perfect Strangers.
I will have to ask, during, I think it's like the second night they try to freak out the birds. It's when Ironbeak is there. All of a sudden, the bells ring and then suddenly stop. And Mangus is like, well, who's ringing the bells if they're downstairs? Who is ringing the bells?
I thought it was obvious, a ghost.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Martin.
Just imagine Martin's ghost with a little smirk on his face.
I wonder how often they blame him, for the Dibbins and stuff. They're like, well, what was that? They're like, probably Martin. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, or getting them to then. The ghost of Martin's going to come in here. They can't use Clooney anymore.
I could actually like that if they do that in. I wish we would have gotten a sequel to this where the ghost of Martin will come for you. They're like, no, and then Cornflower walks in wearing the armor.
Sister May will come for you.
Oh God! Or worse yet, we'll let Ambrose Sprite cook. No!
Now go to sleep, or Sister May will drug you.
We're told John.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
This is
no,
quick
you go ahead.
anecdote. So I have a friend who is sort of blind. She has some remaining vision, and sometimes she relies on it a little more than she should. And she was making cinnamon rolls, and she saw and I don't know exactly what it was, but it was the same color as cinnamon, but it wasn't cinnamon. It was some savory spice, and she just dumped a bunch of it in.
Oops.
And there were some interesting tasting cinnamon rolls.
Probably nutmeg. I mean, that's usually...
That's what I was thinking.
I guess.
Nutmeg!
I want nutmeg!
So that's where the Abbott's nutmeg went.
Yes. All of it.
So they scared the crap out of the Rooks and Ravens, and then Abbott's like, no, I don't like this plan anymore, stop. Even though it's actually having an effect.
Well, true, though Ironbeak does try to dive bomb Cornflower.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
To her credit, she's really not afraid at all. She's just like, yeah, and then he flew at me, and it was awesome.
Yeah. And the Abbott's like, wait, what?
Come at me, bird!
Well, he ain't afraid of no ghost. Oh.
You have my webcam out. If I had my webcam turned on, you would have seen me trying to strangle the screen there, Jeremy.
I've seen you face palm on the webcam before, but I don't know if I've seen the strangling motion before.
Anyway. Basically the Abbot's like, yeah, let's not do this anymore, because I really won't have to explain to Matthias and Mattimeo when they get back that you're dead.
I can just imagine that story. Cornflower's dead? What happened? Well, she was dressing up as Martin the Warrior. Wait, what? No, hang on, let me finish. She did it to play psychological warfare with a bunch of birds. Abbott, have you been dipping into the spiced nutmeg again?
The Abbott has a nutmeg habit.
Well, that or he's been with Ambrose Spike for too many hours, minutes. I don't know how long. I have to assume there's an alcoholic fume in the air down there.
I have to ask, okay, I get he's Ambrose Spike because he's a hedgehog. Is it an unintentional pun because you spike a drink?
I don't know.
Yes. Cornflower agrees, fine, I'll stop the stupid charade. But in one of the dumber things, because, yeah, I get why they did this, because they had to get Constance out of the way for the final
I was going to bring that up.
But it's like, let's go put the armor back. I'm like, no! If the birds make it down the cavern hole, you will need it.
Yeah, it's like, what was the point? Like, why? I do not understand the logic of why we have to go all the way back to the gatehouse and put the armor back. Like, can't we just keep it until this whole thing blows over?
That is a good point. I never really thought about that.
But yeah, Constance goes to take the armor back, and oops, she gets locked in the gatehouse by Ironbeak.
Yeah,
And why would you have the key just sticking out of the door?
What a kooky dilemma.
Why would you have it be able to lock from the outside? I mean, if it's Cornflower in Matthias' house, an inside lock makes more sense.
Yeah, why would you?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Because the plot said so.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's like,
They had to take out Constance.
Yeah, but then they had the line, no one had really missed Constance. And it's like, wait, really? You're under siege. She's the only one that has successfully fended off literally every attack, and you don't notice she's missing? Okay, you deserve to be conquered at this point.
Yeah, Matthias is gone for 1 hour, and everybody flips their lids. Constance is gone for like 7 days, and they're like,
Yeah.
Okay, I have a slight counterpoint. I don't know how logical this will be because it's just taking form in my brain as we speak. But so maybe they got a little complacent because it says that Constance did kind of tend to wander off if she was tired of being around people for a while and then come back. So maybe they're like, oh, this is going pretty well. We're almost back to normal. And then they kind of slipped back into normal patterns of thinking. And they're like, oh, Constance is just probably wandering around outside, you know.
I think that reinforces the idea they deserve to be conquered then.
Yeah, probably.
like when everybody was asleep in Redwall, it's like, huh. Well,
Time to steal the tapestry.
Yeah.
don't open the door, take the tapestry.
Yep. It's like, how'd he get in? He walked to the front door.
It was just it was fine. No worries.
So, yeah, Constance is now locked in the gatehouse, and Ironbeak has a plan to get past the barricade and down to Cavern Hole where all the Redwallers are sleeping.
And it works.
Oh, dear. Let's go back to the A-plot.
For the A-plot.
All right.
Hey, back in the A-plot. Yeah, Matthias and the parents, they find the kingdom of Malkariss and Nadaz, and he's like, oh, crud, there's intruders. Dang it, Slagar.
Yeah. Yeah, like, this is your doing.
Slagar's like, what? What?
I burned a bridge. I tried to throw them off a cliff. I left them for an entire horde to kill. It's not my fault. They're unkillable. They're main characters.
I mean, it's not like I stole their kids or... Oh. Yeah. Sorry. So, yeah, now we have a big old brawl. And it's pretty obvious pretty on that, yeah, the Redwallers are outnumbered. Considerably.
Yeah.
If Malkariss can spare 80 rats, and that's only a fraction of his forces, because they're told outright, if Slagar betrays me, we're going to kill all of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they've stepped in it. We're not given the numbers here. I want to say ballpark, and let's say 300.
Yeah.
Rats. No, I will not make a 300 movie joke. No.
Yeah.
Tempting as that is.
To get away from that, I gotta say, I do like it, though, that even though they're against this giant army, the heroes don't really seem to care. They're like, alright, we'll hack through you to get our kids back.
Yeah, you have a male badger and possible blood rat here.
Mm-hmm. Wielding a giant axe. And you've got Matthias just kind of ducking and weaving and slashing everything, and then you have Jess literally jumping from rat to kill them.
Yes.
And Basil just kicking them in the face.
Yeah.
So, does Jess also have the blood wrath here? Because doesn't it say her eyes were red with battle light?
I did back in the painted ones for us. I'm double checking.
Did we already discuss this? I might be having deja vu.
Yeah, we did back in book 2.
No.
Yeah, we mentioned she's full-fledged blood rat here, but it's not called that.
She's never been the same after her husband left.
Well, it does say Mr. Squirrel.
He's on a nature walk. We've been over this.
No, he went on a quest to the north. It does say, it doesn't mention her eyes, but it says she leapt and bounded, stabbing left and right, blood flowing from her tail like a scarlet ribbon.
Okay, fair enough, blood rat.
Yep.
That's going to hurt in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah, but so and Orlando's stabbed right in the nose.
And doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, he's a badger. It happens. Matthias is outright said, filled with battle rage. Yeah, I mean, this may not be Clooney, but he's got a. This fox. There's the fox. Kill him.
And then Log-a-Log gets injured.
Yeah.
And I would like to add, I think they should have, I think they should have featured Flug a little bit more before this moment, because it comes out of nowhere. Log-a-Log, like, bring me this one named Shrew.
Yes. To his credit, he does a lot better job in the future with that.
Yeah. And I will say that being said, though, Log-a-Log finding the kids literally 2 seconds before he dies is... Yeah, I got a little misty-eyed when I read this part.
Oh, I know.
Oh, he kept his promise to Matthias. He helped him find his kids.
Yeah, that line right there. Oh.
Yeah. It's like, it's almost as bad as am and always shall be your friend. But if they don't do the law, live long and prosper.
Oh.
But there's no screaming of Slagar's name dramatically. So, take your positives with your the negatives. So.
We then get... Oh, go ahead.
I say, Jeremy and I are a bit of Star Trek nerds on the other podcast, so...
Yeah.
It's okay, so is my dad. Except he's not on a podcast.
with Log-a-Log dies, having to find the kids, and then the two sides kind of break because they're tired of killing each other for a bit.
The rats are tired of dying, and some of them are tired of being thrown through the air by Orlando and being kicked in the face, and the Redwallers are like, man, it's good that we haven't suffered any losses. Meanwhile, there's like 40 shrews piled up in the corner.
Poor shrews.
Yeah, no losses at all.
Is this the point where Matthias challenges Nadaz to
Yes.
combat? Yes.
He tells him to fabulous single combat. And Nadaz is not stupid. He's like, okay, we're gonna send our slave master at you.
Yeah.
But Orlando's...
Which, speaking of Star Trek, I wish we could play like that old battle music from it, like this.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yep.
But yeah, you can, if it makes you feel any better, Jeremy, you can picture it in your head while you're we're talking about this.
Yep.
So.
Oh, I shall.
And Orlando's like, wait a minute, Matthias, I should be the one doing single combat. Like, yeah, they're not going to accept that.
He's like, Orlando, you would cut them in two, and then it would be one versus two halves.
And then, we have the, what's pronunciation on this?
We're at?
Slave Master. We're at, fair enough. We're at the Slave Master, who is, oh god, the artwork.
What is the artwork now? I'm curious.
He has no ears. He's drooling.
Oh, fun.
With big fangs.
Yeah.
Sharp, pointy teeth. Chapter 47.
It's pretty.
And
he's pretty gross looking.
While he holds a net and a big spear, and because I kind of looked at the anime series to see what they did with this. Yeah, they made him intimidating there, too.
And giant fangs, too. Ugh.
And we're not told what he is exactly, because, that works so well with the painted ones. We're told that he's kind of a primordial throwback to a ferret, or stoat, maybe. It's
kind of a weasel, I guess. Yeah, and...
Yeah.
Slight spoilers.
Look, his parents had active social lives. We're not going to ask too many questions, okay?
And slight spoilers, this is not
PG?
the last time we see one of these things in this series.
Yep.
No, really? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Without giving away too much, it's why I say Loam Hedge kind of does a bit of a retread.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Also Road Crew.
Oh, I haven't read that one yet.
So, yeah. Matthias is going single combat with this thing, and props to Matthias. He holds out a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a tribute to the guy's skill, and we have to presume that Matthias has at least learned a few things since Clooney.
Mm-hmm.
Back during the fight against Clooney, yeah, he's Martin reincarnated. We get that, but he's kind of untrained, and he gets lucky.
Yeah.
And he still manages to defeat one of the best rat warriors ever in the series.
Sort of, by making a very, very well-worded promise.
Yes. But he's equal skill with Clooney. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
And, again, if you're this far into the podcast, you already know we're doing spoilers here, but Matthias loses this fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only time you see the main sword wielder of Sword of Martin here lose. Without... Maybe there's some other minor losses, but no, this is a flat-out loss. He doesn't die, because, there has to be a happy ending.
And then we find out why it was Matthias to face it instead of Orlando, because...
Yes.
that fight goes real quick.
Yeah, after Matthias gets tossed off the cave ledge, and falls down into the big pit, Orlando, in full-on blood wrath here, he just runs over the rats in his ways and beheads the Weird with a single stroke.
Yep, and that was the end of that. And then we get, during the actual big fight, there's a straight-up line where it says that Orlando is wiping the gore off his axe.
Yes, that's lovely.
Ugh. We don't get too many moments of, gore in the series. There's blood and injuries and stuff, but, moments like that where it's, ew, he's wiping the innards of creatures off of his axe.
Yes.
Yeah. When a friend of mine once called this Game of Thrones for kids, and not quite, but there's definitely some violent moments here.
Yeah.
Yes.
And not just from several chapters earlier, when we had the Slagar's crew killing each other, and literally the chapter artwork is one getting a blade in the gut.
Yeah. I always remember that one.
Whoops! For kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the kids finally get out of the jail cell. They see Log-a-Log, and they're like, "Hey, oh, you're dead."
This is awkward.
Oh. Hi, new Log-a-Log.
Yes.
So, the shrews, the kids and the shrews go back to help out the rest, because, still a giant rat army, while Matthias does his best Wile E. Coyote impression.
Meep.
We're told during his initial fall he's holding onto the rope, but as soon as the rope snaps thanks to the Weird, he goes... I can't do a whistle. He falls like Wile E. Coyote.
There you go.
And he hits a basket. And thankfully it breaks his fall, and he only has 3 or 4 broken ribs, but we'll not rely on that.
And then he finds Malkariss, and more ew.
Yeah, we get our first look at Malkariss.
I like
ew
that
is
the
a good
literal
word for it.
sentence is Malkariss was gross. Like, that's actually the word.
Yeah. With an exclamation point, no less.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. In the written one, it actually says Malkariss was gross, complete with exclamation point.
Now I just picture in Valor's speech. Oh, he was gross.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Grody. And then it's just one line. You have looked upon Malkariss. You must die.
Whoops! Rock in your head!
Yeah, and then they pelt this disgusting creature with rocks and literally bury him alive.
Yeah, his own slaves are like... And he's probably thinking like, I wasn't such a bad king, was I? Ow! Ow! Ow!
My only regret is that I'm being buried by rocks.
Oh, no. Down with the man. The New World Order down here.
Yeah. And Matthias is like, huh, that happened.
This is fine.
I'm okay with this. And then he's like, oh, you guys are chained up. Let me take care of that. And he starts cutting their chains with the meteor the meteor sword. Sword of Martin. Yeah.
Meteor sword.
Although we technically... Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's a good name for it.
Yeah, and so it's like, wait a minute, and we get our first, hi, I'm Dale. We get him, he's named. And he's like, hey, you guys want to go help me kill a big red army?
Do we?
Yeah, they kind of do.
Yep. And
So,
then the two armies attack, and we get the nice giant slave army of young creatures that have been underground for who knows how long.
Let me ask
And
these
half-starved.
famished child slaves to fight.
To be fair, they kind of volunteer.
They are.
are they wearing red shirts?
He's like, we need
I hope
you,
they're not-
but holy heck.
Yeah, like one of those falling over, and he's like, oh, it's okay, just take it
Oh.
Jeez.
And all while Mattimeo has rejoined the kids have rejoined the adults, and they're trying to help him out. Because the kids are kind of mad too, and they're at least a little bit stronger than the slave army.
They're not as starved.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're doing, tag team battles, though. Like, Alma and Orlando are throwing people around.
They're throwing a door around, too.
Yes.
I don't remember. Where did this door come from? Like, they're actually using a door to ram the enemy.
Badgers just taking things and hitting people with them. We've got a door, we've got
Did
tables.
they take the door all the way from their cell? Were they just, carrying it?
No.
This will work.
Meanwhile, Cheek and Basil are actually throwing the rats at Nadaz, being like, hey, can you tell them to shut up? And they think, oh, we missed. All right, where's another one?
Yeah. Where's Nadaz in this whole thing? He's standing on the top of a giant drum, leading from behind. He's not exactly at the vanguard of his own army here.
No.
So. And apparently we don't know how well the rats are trained in tactics, but it's not like they're all the shrews. Oh yeah. Never mind.
Bloodless victory. There's only 4 shrews left.
I mean, as long as the new log's okay, then we're good.
Yeah. Find more.
And I hope none of those slaves are wearing red shirts.
Oh,
so.
God. Yeah, they never really mention. I mean, I guess it's probably best that they don't. But how many of those slaves actually make it out of there?
We don't know.
Yeah.
So we generally don't know.
Elmtail does, because he was named.
Yep.
Yeah.
He gets adopted
he is.
by Jess and Sam, and poor Mr. Squirrel is still off gathering acorns.
He's on his nature walk and nothing else.
He went to the store to buy acorns and never came back.
Oh. So, but yeah. So the two armies merge up. They kick the crap out of the Black Robes, and but Nadaz disappears in the confusion, and so does Slagar. But we're gonna get to Slagar in a bit. So basically, yeah, Red Wars carry the day, and even if we don't know their real losses. But they're like, yeah, kids and parents are reunited, and it's happy. Yay!
Yeah, the Matthias and Mattimeo's reunion always makes me kind of tear up, because the actors just do it so well.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Daddy! Yes.
Hire me.
Yep.
Yes.
Then, of course, they're like, Nadaz is behind that statue. Kill it! Kill it!
Break the statue.
It's like, I have to ask the question. Nadaz is. We have to assume there's probably a small sprinkling of Black Robes who ran away, or otherwise, sure, fine, whatever. So Nadaz is really the only one left, and he's inside the statue because Malkariss is dead. So I get that they're destroying the statue because it's a symbol of oppression, but why bother?
Yeah, it's almost like a comedy of errors at this point. It's like, oh, the leader got away. Let's beat up this statue. Oh, shoot, we just caused an earthquake. Run for it!
Cheese it! Cheese it!
And then everything explodes, and they get sent flying out of there, and Matthias is trapped in a tree, and it's like, is the Benny Hill theme playing in the background during all this?
Oh, and Orlando gets it worse, because they're the only two who will get shot out of the cave. Everybody else makes it out in time, but they're covered in rock dust, and Orlando not only lands in a tree, he hits a few branches on the way down.
And his axe lands right next to Cheek and almost cleaves him in half. It's like, really, guys, maybe you should have rethought trying to smash the statue.
Yes.
Yeah, but yay, everybody's safe, and they're outside. How are they going to get past against the gorge again? Weird. They slid down, remember?
Martin's
on
ghost.
The zip line.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But we can assume they have a way back.
Yeah.
But before they do it, and here, because we can't have a final confrontation without the big main villain, Vitch actually makes it out with the heroes, and he runs away, and Mattimeo still wants to beat the crap out of him.
And then Slagar brutally murders him, and...
Yes.
Okay, well, that's the end of that.
Bye, Vitch!
He died as he lived, with bolas wrapped around his neck. I don't know.
What? Slagar...
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't. Slagar, he kills Vitch with his bolas because he's probably afraid. He says, oh yeah, the fox is over the hill. Although he didn't. And, but before this happened, we see a break scene with Slagar by himself, talking to himself. Where he's like, I'm going to win in the end because if the Red Wars win, I'm just going to kill Matthias and take the sword, and it's magic. No, it's not. But if Nadaz wins, I'm just going to kill him and still rule. It's still a cult there, buddy.
Yeah.
You need to cheese it. But no, he sticks around long enough to kill Vitch, and then the angry parents, who are still probably a little angry with him, see him.
Just a little.
And Orlando and Matthias charge him.
And there's Orlando with foam flecking off his mouth.
He's like, I just fell out of a tree. I'm totally going to take it out on you.
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of angry parents chasing him, and he makes it 3 steps, and then he falls into the same exit he walked out of the cave.
Comedy of errors continues.
Yeah, we're told that the secret exit to the kingdom was the old Lomhenge well, and I guess there's a ladder or something built into it. We're not told, but Slagar just does his Wile E. Coyote impression, except there is a puff of dust at the bottom of this one.
They're like, well, that happened.
I don't know. Considering what happened last time with Slagar, I think you would go down there and double tap. Because
It would have been a great sequence.
Yeah!
He comes
might
back,
be-
hobbling around.
Ah!
I'm still alive!
I'm not
Get
dead
this
yet.
Oh, God, it just makes me think. I don't know. Did anyone play Shadow of Mordor? That in there you can kind of kill enemies, but they come back. And I had one that literally kept coming back with more wounds and cuts and scars and eye patch and getting crazier and crazier every time. And I just think of that guy when I think of Slagar.
It reminds me of Princess Bride. Like, your friend here is only mostly dead.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they did have fun storming the castle, so...
He checks to see if Slagar's still alive. What'd he say? Revenge!
I thought he said cabbage.
He's hungry.
And I just thought it was kind of funny that Orlando was like, "Aw, man, I was going to kill him." And Matthias was like, "Yeah, so was I." Man.
Yeah.
Bonding.
Well, darn it.
Light a match.
And I have to wonder if Mattimeo's in the back there like, wait a minute, you just stopped me from killing Vitch, and now you're complaining that, like...
Yeah, I thought of that too. I was like... And it's even funnier in the animated series because Matthias just gives this speech like, "Be kind in victory, my son," and then the fox appears, and he's like... he's like growling.
Bringing love, break its legs.
So yeah, Slagar's dead. For good.
We'll never see him again.
No, we really won't this time.
Book
He's
23.
It's like they found his body in Loam Hedge when they get there. It's like, what's this fox with the hood on his head?
Or like a skeleton by that point.
Undead Slagar, zombie skeleton Slagar.
The ghost of Slagar.
Brains. Revenge.
The ghost of Slagar kills Martin the Warrior. Ghost? Plot twist.
Actually, that would have been a good one. Like, the ghost of Slagar tries haunting Redwall, and then Martin's ghost arrives, and he's like, "Oh, man! I knew this place was haunted."
For some reason, I was thinking of the fox from Dora the Explorer. Oh, man. Every time something goes wrong in here. Oh, man. Slagar, no swipe?
So, oh God. How did it take us this long to make that joke? Alright, back to the B-plot. Because, yay, A-plot settled.
Ironbeak wins, essentially. He's like, "Haha, I defeated your badger." And Constance's like,
never
"No,
seen
you
this
didn't."
before. I have to wonder, like, everyone's like, "Oh, this happened again? Oh, okay."
Yeah, this is kind of like the end of Redwall, where they're like, "Oh, well, can you try not to poison and kill our abbot this time?"
Yeah, it's like...
Hey, and Abbott's like, "Wait a minute."
We're going to wait a few minutes before the hero comes. We'll just have to hang tight.
And look, Ironbeak, you just stay right there. Let's go make some food, and we'll be right back with you, okay?
I can just imagine at this point, they're like, "Man, I really wish Constance was here." And Constance is like, "Yeah, I bet you do."
Just hear furious screaming in the distance.
So, Ironbeak, unfortunately, picks on the one red war that the big bird likes him, or Stirk Red Kite likes the best, Sister May.
I see why.
That was a bad plan.
To be fair, she does attack him first, too.
Because he attacked the abbot.
And she's like, "No!" And she just tackles him and actually rips out some of his feathers.
Oh, jeez.
And I love it, too. So, like, the full fight starts, and it said that she and, I think it was like Brother Rufus, take out a rook by themselves.
Yes.
Yep.
And I just read that as, Sister May beat it to death while he watches and goes, "Good job."
There goes Sister May. Ah!
Yeah. So their big avian ex machina. Oh, I'm sorry. Stirk Red Kite shows up, and yeah, basically she knocks the heck out of Ironbeak and kills him. Bye, Ironbeak.
And then Constance hits Mangiz, literally knocking him across the Great Hall into a wall, and he dies.
Yes. With what was it? The sound like a ripe fruit hitting the wall. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's graphic.
Goes well with the gore being wiped off Orlando's axe.
This series is
So the remaining sparrows take out some of the remaining birds too, and the other birds are like, "We give up. Sorry." Go down the wine cellar and don't drink any of the drinks down there.
Stay away from my moonshine. I mean October ale.
I'm just imagining all of them getting locked in the cellar. It's dark. It's like in cartoons where you can only see people's eyes. And, they're all staying around, and then you just see one new set of eyes. It's Ambrose Spike. You guys come here often.
And then we go back upstairs, and Constance's like, "Huh, what's that screaming?"
And they're like, "Constance, thank you for saving us." She's like, "Yeah, were you guys looking? I mean, I hope you guys were looking for me. I mean, I was stuck out there for days." "Yeah, we were totally looking for you. We were all concerned. Hey, what's that over there?"
So yeah, Red Ballers win. They drive off the invasion. So, and both plots are resolved except the warriors aren't back yet. And
Hey, look, they're back.
pretty much. Before that happens, though, Cornflower and it's told that Cornflower and sometimes Mrs. Churchmouse, they go to do a vigil on the southern wall, but it's been days, and then they abbot in his probably jerkest moment in this entire story, and that's saying something. He's like, "Yeah, you need to face facts. Your husband and son are probably dead."
Well, they even have the moment where Constance is like, "We'll take out a search party for them," and the minute Cornflower leaves, "Oh, they're probably super dead."
I mean, Constance had at least had this tact to not agree with the abbot in front of the grieving wife.
And then, I can just imagine, a little bit where she's like, "Oh, they're totally dead," and Cornflower's, "I'm still here. I mean, they're dead tired of chasing after Slagar."
So yeah, the abbot's kind of a jerk here. Yeah, they've been gone a while. We all know that it's been a full season, and we can all debate back and forth how much time that is, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, dude, that's kind of a jerk thing to say. Cornflower's not stupid. She's gonna come around to the truth, even if it's not actually true.
Watch out, Abbott, or else Cornflower's gonna haunt you.
Yeah.
This was trying to get at earlier. The whole thing of, you need to stop this because I don't want to explain to your husband and son why you died. I'm like, okay, yeah, Mattimeo's going to take it hard as his mom, and so would Matthias being her husband, but he's also the they saw worse action during Clooney. If his wife goes down fighting Ironbeak in an invasion, yeah, he's going to be grief and probably a little messed up from that, but he'd also be proud of her.
I also like to point out, he's like, "What am I going to tell Matthias and Mattimeo that you died?" And later on, he's like, "They're probably not coming back." Guess I won't have to tell them if you died.
Yeah, I don't think this is the best Abbott choice you could have had, dead Abbott.
Yeah.
I'm sure Abbott Mortimer would have handled it a little more smoothly.
Yeah, he was like, "Cornflower, we will name your spirit rat Death."
Yes.
Bird Death.
I forgot that's what the sword was actually named.
Yeah.
It's never mentioned again.
Literally never mentioned again.
Yep.
Bring out Rat Death.
What? Oh, the Sword of Martin. Got it.
Yep. Meteor sword.
Meteor sword. Sounds like a Legend of Zelda item name.
Yep. You found the meteor sword.
Before
Do. You can now fight Clooney.
Well, maybe when we cover Mossflower, I'll put in the Zelda music, the sword pole music, when Matthias gets it.
Martin receives the sword. Martin got the sword of Martin has been reforged. Now it can cut through anything. Press the B button
Especially
to attack.
Wildcats. So yeah, before the birds get before Matthias and crew come back, the remaining birds get chased off with lovely iron collars.
Yeah, who wants to bet that they die
themselves.
within like a week?
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, we're told.
It's like you're no longer going to be predators. Your only goal is to survive. If you take away a predator's ability to be a predator, they die.
That is so cruel.
Yeah. They basically sentence them to a slow, painful death. Like, jeez, that's kind of terrifying.
And it gets worse because if they don't fly fast enough, the big hawk is going to eat you.
Yeah. They're like, we won't execute you, but we will send you out there with heavy metal around your necks and be like, have fun not living for a while. Jeez. It almost seems more cruel.
Yeah, it kind of does. So, but yeah, the warriors come back. Yay! And all the slaves who don't have homes to return to.
More orphans.
That's the thing in this.
The next generation of orphans.
Walk one, engage.
That's how orphans, the next generation.
Hi.
So yeah, the heroes are back, and they come back, and everyone's happy. Yay! But of course that leads into. Yes, we have a feast, because we didn't have already one of those already.
They started with a feast, they end with a feast.
It is a big mistake to read these books hungry, because then you're just like, okay, I have to eat literally everything now.
Yeah, I think my mouth is actually watered sometimes when I've read these books. Like, oh god, I'm so hungry.
Got some peanut butter sandwiches, and those are...
But we're even told that the returning warriors and kids, no, you go to bed without supper. Why? Because we're going to cook... Because we're cooking through the night for the feast tomorrow. Okay.
Wait, who did they tell that?
Yeah, Basil's like, they're like, all right, everyone, let's go to sleep now. And Basil's like, well, wait a minute, what about a big supper for us coming home? And they're like, well, we're just going to have a feast in like a day, so this way, we can all rest. And then Basil's like, okay, I'm going to bed, see ya!
These returning slaves who have never had a decent meal in their lives. Sleep hungry one more night. There'll be food in the morning.
You survived 18 seasons with no food. You can go one more night.
You're fine. One of them dies in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Tell Ambrose.
He's just tired.
And unconscious.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you sleep. You become unconscious. No, I'm pretty sure he's dead. And it's like, no, Sister May just drugged him. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder. So, like, they even say that Sister May helped the abbot, get that giant fish for the feast. And they're like, I wanted to wake you, but you were sleeping. So Sister May helped me rescue, capture the fish. And I'm like, did she drug Matthias so she could go get the fish?
She's got a problem. Yeah. So,
No wonder why they don't get attacked against Pearls of Lutra. They probably heard about the terrifying legend of Sister May.
So, the next day there's a feast, and even the liberated slaves get to eat the first real meal they've had in their lives, and they probably can't digest it because slaves use...
But it's magic Red Ball food.
They're used to that rich of food.
Magic Red Ball food. Everyone eats it.
And Ambrose Sprite didn't make the biscuits this time.
And they all live happily ever after until Pearls of Lutra.
Yes.
So we're given, and just like the last book we covered, we're given an epilogue that takes place 2 years later. Well, 7 seasons. So. And, Mattimeo is grown up, Tess is grown up, they're married, they're having a kid. Yay!
Yay!
Aww.
And the older generation is starting to age out. So, we're told that. Although, it's not exactly explained that way. Orlando's moved into the Abbey, apparently. So, okay. Same with his daughter.
Yep.
And,
So Constance and Orlando become friends.
And nothing else.
You know, they're totally just friends. And they have many friendly encounters.
With lots of benefits, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Savages.
Point is, life goes on, and we're told that, the new kid who's Mattimeo's kid is going to be called Martin. Yay!
Sure, he won't have a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
Jeez. And we do get to see him again in the later book, so yay.
Yes. And he's pretty much just like Matthias.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing. So what happened if they had had a daughter?
Martina? Right?
Sounds like a drink.
Martina.
But,
You like your drinks, Martina? Only like, I haven't heard that one a million times.
Shut up, Ambrose.
So, yes, it ends and everyone's happy. Yay! And everyone lives happy ever. Or do they? No, yeah, they do.
Actually, they do.
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't see these characters. We do see some of these characters again. We see Alma.
Yep.
And
Rolo.
Rollo.
Rollo.
And other characters are mentioned, but it's implied they died of old age.
Oh.
So.
Yes.
Okay. So that covers Mattimeo. That's another book done.
Yay!
Only 12 more to go.
Bum, bum, bum.
12. More like 19.
Yeah, there's a lot of books.
How many books are there's 14 books, right?
There's 22.
Yeah, 22.
Oh.
Oh, and there's a lot of fan fiction. Can't forget about that.
Okay,
Oh,
we're
God,
gonna be
no.
at this in a while. No, Jeremy, we said we'd have to have a fan fiction episode sometime. So maybe it's a mini-sode, maybe.
I'll get the goggles.
They do nothing. So, what book are we going to do next? Or do you guys want to take a break for a fanfic or a special episode?
Do we want to do a Red Wolf Food?
Red.
The holidays are coming up, so if we all want to try and cook something from the cookbook and report our successes and failures.
And hopefully give thanks that none of this stuff turned out to be poisonous.
May.
Yeah. I made the Sister May special to put everyone to sleep.
It was a knockout.
Yes.
Wah, wah.
Extra tryptophan.
Well, it left the critics speechless.
Yeah. Except for the snores.
I don't know. Yeah, we can do it. We can take a break for a food episode. And then what comes after, and then we're going to swing around to the beginning of the order, right?
Yep, which I believe the first one in chronological is Lord Brocktree. But if you'd like to confirm that.
Would it be,
I'm doing that real quick.
Would it be better to do something like Mossflower or Martin the Warrior, or do you think it matters?
Well, I mean,
Well, that was our original plan.
I think we'd hit Martin right after Brocktree.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I mentioned this to Pete the other day. I think after we cover Martin, we should do something happy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing bad happens in that book.
No.
Nobody of importance dies in that one.
We'll get to it when we get to it. But yeah, let's do a food episode next. It can be from the Red Bull Cookbook, or it can be medieval inspired. So it doesn't have to be explicitly.
Okay.
But we'll report back on what we can find out.
I'm not making the hot root soup again.
No, we wouldn't ask you to. All right, folks. So, did either of you want to plug something, or any other podcast you're on, or anything like that?
Nope.
Nope. This is
That is a no.
literally the only podcast that I've ever been on. So.
Okay.
All right, we need more
So,
podcasts.
all right. Jeremy, where can they find us?
You can find us online at recorderonthewall.com. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, recorderonthewall.com.
We have we're on iTunes, we're on Google Play Podcasts, and I am active on the Redwall subreddit on Reddit, and the main Redwall forums.
Find us on Google Plus. The Bank
No,
of
we don't
America
have
Red.
anything. I know you're crying because we don't have a lot of social media stuff.
Crunchyroll.
So.
What? I don't think there's an
That's an anime thing.
I have a Crunchyroll account, but
I do too. The
Well,
Ancient
yeah, watch
Magus'
the
Bride. Fantastic anime. I'm plugging that.
All right, let's wrap this up here. I'm Pete.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm Drew.
I'm Katie.
And visit us the next time you are in Mossflower Country.